The tale of the rabbit's conspiracy. That day there was nothing to eat in the forest, so I went down to a potato field to steal it. Unexpectedly, the owner of the field was already hiding in the hut next door and immediately rushed in to grab the rabbit. The rabbit pretended to be dead and lay down. The owner of the potato field turned it over several times but did not see the rabbit move, believing it was really dead, so he quickly grabbed it by the ears and carried it back. Coming to a roadside shop, he threw the rabbit down under a tree, but the rabbit did not run. But taking advantage of the opportunity for that person to go into the restaurant to drink water, the rabbit jumped up and ran away. After a few days of wandering around, the rabbit was unable to get anything into his stomach. So hungry, the rabbit went down to the potato field to steal it the other day. Unfortunately, this time he was caught by the field owner. Knowing that he could fake his death, he tied up the rabbit and brought it home. When he got there, he told his wife, "You put it in a cage. Tomorrow, on the anniversary of its death, I will slaughter it." So the rabbit was locked in a cage, with a heavy stone placed on top of the cage. The rabbit wandered around, struggling in every way, but could not escape. While I was running out of tricks, I suddenly saw a basin of water near my bed. In the pot there was a large fish struggling. The rabbit softly called, "Fish, do you know that your end is near? Tomorrow is the death anniversary. The landlord will force you to kill him. If you want to escape, struggle harder until the pot breaks and the snake falls out into the pond." The fish heard this and thrashed even harder. Sure enough, the pot broke into 3 pieces. Water spread all over the ground. The fish wriggled and tried to get out to the shallow side of the pond. The rabbit let the snakehead fish get close to the edge of the pond before pretending to panic and calling the homeowner to come out and catch the fish. Both husband and wife and children were frantic when they saw the fish slipping into the pond. The homeowner's son quickly grabbed the rabbit trap and ran out to scoop up the fish. The rabbit did not wait for a luckier opportunity and ran straight into the forest. Running for a while, the rabbit encountered a wide river. It's a dead end because there's no way to get past it. While confused, I just met a crocodile with its nose up on the riverbank, breathing heavily. The rabbit smiled and called out, "Mr. Crocodile, please carry me across the river and I will marry my sister to you. My sister is very beautiful." Hearing the rabbit whisper, the crocodile nodded. The rabbit jumped up and sat on the crocodile's back, and the crocodile swam to the other shore. Nearing the destination, the rabbit jumped onto the shore. The rabbit walked quickly but did not forget to annoy the crocodile. "Thank you. But my sister still wants to marry somewhere else. It's not too much to marry you, my dear." Being deceived, he became madly angry, thinking that he had to take revenge. One day, the rabbit went out to play and was so thirsty that he went to the river to drink. The crocodile saw the rabbit from afar, so he put a pile of grass on his head and gently swam closer to the rabbit. Thinking it was a pile of grass floating on the water, the rabbit jumped up trying to find something to eat. Who would have thought that the crocodile immediately caught him? The crocodile held the rabbit in his teeth and growled in anger. The rabbit suddenly burst out laughing. "You look like you, hum-ha, like scaring a child. No one is afraid. Only, ha-ha, makes me scared." Hearing that, the crocodile quickly opened its mouth to say, "ha-ha," a few times, but the rabbit quickly jumped to shore. The rabbit stopped laughing for a long time and then leisurely walked straight. 1. Horror. All three rabbit stories above are very similar to stories on the same topic of the Central Highlands people and the Khmer people. Below is a story, or we can say 2 or 3 stories combined, that from the Xo Dang, Ba Na, Bonner people in the north to the Ma and Xtang people in the south are told without much difference. A child went to catch snails and saw a tiger and a kite fighting fiercely. The tiger was pecked by a kite swooping down from above, his eyes darkened and his face begged for mercy. Afraid of being embarrassed by humans, the tiger gave the baby a basket of fish, asking him to keep it a secret. But the baby told his mother, and from the mother, the story of the tiger losing the kite spread throughout the village. The tiger was angry and found the baby, setting a date to force him to come and eat him. On that day, the baby sadly left. Along the way he met a rabbit. When he found out, the rabbit promised to help the boy. Meeting a tiger, the rabbit forced the tiger to compete with him in swallowing a wooden peg. If the tiger won, he could eat the baby. The rabbit pretended to swallow but let the lech discreetly fall out the back. In turn, the tiger couldn't swallow, was chased away by the rabbit, and was shot with an arrow in the ass by the baby. To repay the favor, the baby invited the rabbit to visit his house. The rabbit went up to the house and was chased by a dog, and even though he was protected by the baby, he didn't feel good sitting down to eat. One day, the rabbit came to drink water and sat there waiting. A goat was thirsty and came over, but the rabbit stopped him, saying that humans told him to guard and not let him drink. Then a pig came, and the rabbit said the same thing. Both children were scared and ran away. An elephant came and the rabbit said the same thing, but the elephant said nothing and threw the rabbit into a deep hole. Rabbit can't get up. As soon as the tiger passed by, the rabbit called back. Just like our story, the rabbit tricked himself into thinking that the sky was about to collapse, causing the tiger to jump down in panic. Then, the rabbit used a farting plan to make the tiger angry and throw him into the mouth of the hole. But then the tiger also jumped up. The tiger asked the rabbit to help him tie the painting to his back to take him home. After tying the knot, the rabbit also released a kindling, and the painting caught fire, causing its skin to be scorched, forcing it to struggle forever to escape. Knowing that the rabbit was being cruel to him, the tiger tried to find the rabbit to kill. The first time, the tiger also met the rabbit at the beehive and was tricked by the rabbit into playing his mother's gong. The second time I met the rabbit by the bamboo bush and was tricked by the rabbit into playing the horn. This time the tiger listened to the rabbit, stuck out its tongue and was almost crushed by the bamboo. The third time, the tiger met the rabbit climbing a rotten tree. The rabbit told the tiger to climb up to see. There are many beautiful scenes out at sea. The tiger climbed up but couldn't see it. The rabbit urged him to climb higher. The tiger kept climbing until the tree broke and he fell down on the rocks and nearly died. The fourth time, the tiger met the rabbit again. The rabbit pointed to a flower-bearing snake nearby, saying it was a very beautiful loincloth. The tiger got entangled and was bitten by a snake and died. Not long after that, he met an old woman cutting rice grass. The rabbit told her to cook rice for her to eat and she would help her. The old woman obeyed, and the rabbit bent down to cut both grass and rice. After the rabbit finished eating, the old woman who went to visit the rice fields got angry and took a stick to beat the rabbit. The rabbit hid next to the water jar. The old woman accidentally broke the jar. The rabbit hid in a termite nest. The old woman used a stone to block the hole, then used fire to burn it to death. The rabbit coaxed the old woman's grandchild to get in, while she hid. When the old woman brought the fire to light, the grandchild cried out, "Grandma? I'm here." The old woman thought she had been tricked by the rabbit again and replied, "I will burn it too." When her grandchild died, the old woman went to the market to buy food to offer to her grandchild. The rabbit pretended to be dead and lying in the middle of the road. The old woman saw it, picked it up in a basket, put it on her head and walked home. The rabbit lay on the basket and ate all the food, then jumped down. When the old woman knew, the rabbit ran away. Tomorrow the old lady goes to the market again. The rabbit pretended to be dead again, but this time the old woman beat him to death with a stick. Regarding the story of the Bana people, please see The Strange Tales. Big head but foolish, small but wise. No 58. The rabbit story of the Khmer people is similar to the stories of the Central Highlanders just mentioned, with a few more details. For example, the rabbit contracts to race with the snail. Before running, the snail told his whole family to split up and stand scattered along the road. So wherever the rabbit ran, the snail spoke up. Until he was about to reach the destination, he saw the snail standing at the finish line. The snail's trick made the rabbit give in. In the story Turtle and Tiger of the Bana people, the race takes place between the tiger and the turtle's relatives. Just like the above story, the turtle tricks them into dividing each other and standing one in each place so that wherever the tiger runs, the turtle will see the turtle coming first, and in the end they will give up, too. Another episode is that the rabbit helps someone get the fish back. There are two people. One person puts his bag in the river to get the fish. The second person went out in the middle of the night to steal and then put the fish in another one, because the flood got stuck on the top of the tree. Tomorrow morning, both of you will visit together. The owner of that thing in the river sued the mandarin. The judge let the guy there in the tree sue. The other person returned sadly, met the rabbit and told the rabbit everything. The rabbit came to the mandarin and told him that there was a peacock eating fish at the top of the tree. Seeing that the mandarin definitely did not believe it, the rabbit took the opportunity to ask the mandarin, "If the fish cannot be on the top of the tree, then the fish cannot be in the tree." The mandarin knew that he had fallen for the rabbit's trick, so he had to deal with it for the other person to take. 3. The Khmer people also have a story about a fortune teller with two old people, similar to our story, number 88, in the beginning. A famous fortune teller in the area. Nearby there were two old men and women who didn't want to believe it. One day they went fishing and caught a big fish. On the way back, they caught a rabbit that was about to drown. When they got home, they locked the rabbit in a cage in the garden. As for the fish, leave the basket to soak in the pond near the rabbit cage. Then go and ask the fortune teller what they will be able to eat after fasting for the past few days. Only eat fish sauce in the jar. Seeing what the teacher said, they went home. He caught the fish to eat and wanted to make the teacher see that he had guessed wrong. Unexpectedly, when he caught the fish shook his hand and fell into the pond. He hurriedly grabbed the trap to feed the fish and the rabbit ran away. The husband had to tell his wife, "Let's just eat rice with fish sauce." 4. Lang de, Lands, tells the story of the fight between tigers and kites of the Champa people. The book cited has some different details from the above story. The tiger brought a basket to the pond to catch fish. From morning to afternoon, they run out. There are many fish, but the tiger catches them very clumsily. A kite that was sent down by a tiger to catch fowls was very good at catching it. Seeing how many big fish the kite had picked up, the tiger chased away the kite. The kite from above gave the tiger surprising and painful pecks. The tiger then asked for help from a nearby tree cutter, so he could chase the kite away. The tiger asked the person to keep the story a secret for him. In return, he would give him deer to repay the favor, but if he revealed it, he would eat him. Having received many deer, his wife wanted to know the reason. Finally, because his wife kept begging, the husband told the truth. Unexpectedly, at that time, the tiger lurking outside heard it and forced the other person to come to the meeting place to eat meat for him. Along the way, he met a rabbit and told the rabbit everything. Rabbit promised to find a way to save him. Here, the rabbit does not compete with the tiger in swallowing the peg, but only threatens the tiger that if he does not give him that person, he will call a kite to fight the tiger too. Having said that, the rabbit struggled and pretended to be dead. In just a moment, I saw the kite hovering over. The tiger saw the shadow of the kite, ran away on all 3 legs. Another story of the Champa people also has the content of rabbits saving people, not from the tiger but from the fish king. Mr. Han Uay went to fetch water for hire and accidentally stepped on a tonguefish to death. The fish king and his subordinates became angry and came in thousands and thousands to attempt to kill him. I begged for one night to say goodbye to my parents and brothers. Along the way he cried. The rabbit saw him and asked why, then told him to bring him a cart of fish medicinal plants, raw muck, the next day and he would save him. Tomorrow morning, the rabbit told him to scrape the tree bark and put it in a pile in the stream, then stand in the middle of the stream and call the fish king. The fish king and his subordinates came in tens of thousands, but they were all poisoned and died. The rabbit told him to load it on the cart and take it home to dry and make fish sauce. From then on he became rich. 5. Regarding the relationship between rabbits and crocodiles, the Burmese, Myanmar, people have a story about the crocodile losing its tongue, roughly as follows. The crow tricked the crocodile into a desert saying it was going to a river where he could find good food, then left the crocodile alone in the middle. Deserted sandy beach. Luckily, I asked a passing driver to take me back to my old place. But when they reached the river, the crocodile bit the leg of the cow pulling the cart. The rabbit told the person to whip the crocodile so hard that he had to release it. Angry with rabbits and crocodiles, one day they pretended to be logs floating in the river. Just like in our story, the rabbit jumped up to look for food and was caught by the crocodile. The crocodile cried, "Ha ha," to let all the animals know that he had caught the rabbit. The rabbit said, "Calling, ha ha, is better than nothing." The crocodile followed suit, and the rabbit jumped onto the shore. Here, the difference from our story is that when the rabbit jumps, it grabs its crocodile tongue and hides it in a bush, then goes to find the cat to show it how to eat it. But the cat couldn't find it because the crocodile's tongue had turned into the cat's tongue plant. Kyong Sa. 6. Therefore, today crocodiles do not have tongues. 1. All three stories numbered 86, 87, and 88 follow the stories of the southern people and follow Langde, lands. Annam Fairy Tales and Legends, Ibid. 2. According to Ba Na Ancient Tales, Volume 2, cited. 3. According to Percheron. Indochina Fairy Tales and Legends. 4. According to Martini and Bernard. Unprinted Folk Tales of Cambodia. 5. Also according to Lang De, lands, quoted above. 6. According to Burmese Folk Tales, Ibid. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.